everyone. As you know, I'm Nicole Marie, your transformation catalyst and coach, and we are diving into the Aries archetype. So, Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. Aries is the beginning. And what that means is that Aries has the archetype of the hero. Now, the hero is who we are as the self. So your self-identity, your self-understanding, and who you're striving to be as the self. So self can have many different aspects to it, but in this context, it's really about who you are in the world. So this can be in your career, you're the same archetype wherever you go in the world. That is the self. So the self goes on many journeys, but the self develops through more self-awareness. So the hero is at the beginning. And, the hero is kind of like a fool, like in the archetypes of tarot. And the fool is really connected to the unknown, not really knowing where to go. It's just living by its intuition. And this is one of the gifts of Aries, is that it is very impulsive. It feels something and says yes, and goes for it and charges it. And then, oh, wait, was that the right decision? Okay, let's just keep going. Aries is quite sensitive because if you think about it, Aries is the beginning. It is new. It is unknown. And so it's sensitive to the outer world and its opinions. Harsh words can feel really overwhelming for Aries. And so that's why they kind of have to present themselves as a strong warrior type. So if you work with your chakra system, Aries would rule your first chakra. And so this applies. The root chakra is all about really digging yourself deep into the earth. This is who I am in this life. So the hero goes on its journey, but first it has to understand who it is. Who am I? What is it that I love? What is it that I like? So this is the character in the archetype that will help you with self-development and is really attuned to following its intuition. And how does it follow? By when it feels electric. So it's a cardinal fire energy. So fire always kind of represents our intuition, our passion, and how we get up and go in the morning. And so this is a really passionate sign, and that's why it's considered the hero, because it has the passion, the drive to move forward on its goals. Now, what is the shadow of Aries? The shadow of Aries is the addict. We all have an addiction to something, whether it be substance abuse or too much Netflix or have to have some sort of chocolate deliciousness at night. There's always something that we feel that we need in order to fill a gap within ourselves. But let's look at the gap. Where does the gap come from? The gap comes from not knowing who you are, what you need to sustain yourself. So when we're constantly influenced by our environment, we grow up in a family that doesn't provide a basic need, this addiction comes from not fully being thyself. Now, we all kind of have to go on the path where we have to go as far away as possible from ourselves, from who we really are, to come back to who we at the soul of who we are. This is the hero's journey. It begins with this hero, this concept, but then it has to go live it and experience, and when it comes back around, it's like, wow, this is who I am. But it comes from a much holistic perspective, because now it has compassion for the world. It's faced its wounds and its dragons, and it's a lot more calm and centered instead of impulsive. But usually the hero has to face his addiction. Now, again, there's many levels of addiction. And so where you have addictive qualities, even people can be addicted to spending money. If Aries is in your second house, you're going to have to look at how you value money, how you value your self-worth. And so if you want to just buy pretty things in order to say, this is who I am, this is what I value, but then all the pretty things you can't buy them anymore because you've spent all your money, there's an addiction there, because the self-worth should really come from the hero, from the self. And so that lack in the self, and also what we often do is that we're taught to reject the self. We're taught to abandon our feelings. We're taught to disassociate from our needs based off of other people's needs. So we learn this at such a young age. And it's really an important quality to understand, where is Aries in your chart? Where is the addict? What does it need in order to feel more full of who they are? So this is a really important, I mean, they all are, but in the terms of, since we're working on self-development, this is a really important key to understanding. So how you determine where your hero is where your Mars energy is. So again, this is something that we can do together. If you're curious to learn now about where your Aries energy is, you can contact me at hello@nicolemarie.eu, and we can dive into your natal chart reading, which will discover the whole story of you. So join me next time to learn about the Taurus archetype that embodies our self-value and that money aspect within us. Talk soon.